In the age-old quest to understand the nature of knowledge, wisdom, and self-awareness, few quotes have captured the paradox of intellectual humility better than Socrates' famous declaration, "I know that I know nothing." At first glance, this assertion seems counterintuitive, even paradoxical. After all, how can someone who claims to know nothing actually know something? This paradox invites us to explore a deeper understanding of what it means to truly know something, and how acknowledging our ignorance might actually be the first step toward true wisdom. What if the key to becoming wiser isn't about accumulating more knowledge, but realizing the vastness of what we don't know? This contradiction forms the bedrock of Socratic thought, driving a lifelong search for wisdom that transcends conventional understandings of knowledge. In this essay, we will delve into Socrates' profound claim, explore how it underpins his philosophy, and examine its relevance in the modern world. By understanding his view on knowledge and ignorance, we can gain valuable insights into how humility and critical thinking might guide our pursuit of wisdom. Welcome to The Unfolding Journey, a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the deeper layers of philosophy, history, and personal growth. Today, we embark on an exploration of one of philosophy's most enduring figures, Socrates, and his radical views on knowledge and ignorance. Let's dive into how his paradoxical statement about knowledge challenges the conventional boundaries of wisdom and helps us rethink how we approach learning and growth. To fully grasp the weight of Socrates' claim, we must first understand its context. The quote, "I know that I know nothing," is not merely an expression of humility. It is a profound reflection on the limits of human understanding. Socrates, who lived in ancient Greece during the 5th century BCE, was a philosopher deeply concerned with the nature of knowledge, virtue, and the good life. He famously engaged in public debates with his fellow Athenians, challenging their beliefs and pushing them to think critically about the world around them. Socrates' claim emerged in the context of his pursuit of wisdom. According to Plato, one of Socrates' most famous disciples, Socrates was told by the Oracle of Delphi that he was the wisest man in Athens. Perplexed by this pronouncement, Socrates set out to understand why he was deemed the wisest. He began questioning those around him, politicians, poets, and craftsmen, to uncover the source of his wisdom. To his surprise, Socrates found that these individuals, who were considered wise, often overestimated their knowledge. They claimed to know things that, upon deeper inquiry, they could not justify. Through his questioning, Socrates came to the realization that while he did not possess the conventional wisdom or expertise of these individuals, he was perhaps wiser in one crucial way. He recognized his own ignorance. He understood that true wisdom comes not from pretending to know what we do not, but from acknowledging our limitations and uncertainties. This is the essence of his paradoxical statement, "I know that I know nothing." It's important to note that Socrates wasn't denying all forms of knowledge. Rather, he was recognizing that human knowledge is inherently limited and that the search for wisdom is a never-ending process. In saying, "I know nothing," Socrates was underscoring the idea that true knowledge begins with the awareness of one's own ignorance. The Socratic method is integral to understanding how Socrates viewed knowledge and ignorance. This method, which involves asking a series of probing questions, was not designed to impart knowledge to others, but rather to help them recognize their own ignorance. By asking seemingly simple questions, Socrates would encourage his interlocutors to examine their beliefs and assumptions more closely, ultimately revealing contradictions or inconsistencies in their thinking. This method was based on the premise that many people unknowingly hold false or misguided beliefs, and that the process of inquiry can help them uncover these errors. Socrates' goal was not to provide answers, but to help others arrive at a deeper understanding of their own beliefs and knowledge. Through this process of self-examination, Socrates believed that individuals could gain insight into the nature of truth, virtue, and the good life. The Socratic method underscores the importance of critical thinking and intellectual humility. By constantly questioning and examining our beliefs, we come to realize how much we don't know, which can open the door to greater understanding. The acknowledgement of ignorance becomes the first step in the pursuit of wisdom, for only by recognizing our limitations can we begin to address them. Socrates' philosophy highlights the essential role of humility in the pursuit of wisdom. He often claimed that the most knowledgeable people are those who recognize how little they actually know. In his view, wisdom was not about accumulating vast amounts of information or mastering every subject, but about cultivating an awareness of one's own ignorance. This perspective is encapsulated in the famous Socratic paradox, often referred to as the Socratic ignorance. Socrates understood that no human being could ever possess complete knowledge of the world. Instead, he believed that the wisest individuals are those who acknowledge their limitations and approach the world with a sense of curiosity and openness. For Socrates, intellectual humility was the key to discovering truth. Socrates' humility in acknowledging his ignorance stands in stark contrast to the arrogance of many of his contemporaries, who believed they had knowledge and understanding of everything from politics to ethics. Socrates' claim was not a resignation to ignorance, but rather an invitation to explore and challenge assumptions. He believed that by engaging in thoughtful dialogue and inquiry, individuals could expand their understanding of themselves and the world around them. In a broader sense, Socrates' emphasis on humility has important implications for modern life. In today's fast-paced, information-driven world, it is easy to become overconfident in our knowledge and expertise. However, the Socratic perspective encourages us to remain open to new ideas, challenge our assumptions, and acknowledge the limits of our understanding. For Socrates, the pursuit of knowledge was not about reaching a final, absolute truth, but rather about engaging in a dialectical process, a back-and-forth exchange of ideas aimed at uncovering deeper truths. He believed that through dialogue and critical examination, individuals could refine their understanding and approach the truth, even if they could never fully grasp it. This dialectical method of inquiry, which became a cornerstone of Western philosophy, highlights the dynamic and evolving nature of knowledge. Socrates did not believe that truth was something fixed or static. Rather, it was something to be discovered and refined through constant questioning and dialogue. In his dialogues, Socrates often showed that seemingly simple ideas, such as justice, virtue, or piety, were much more complex than they initially appeared. By engaging in a dialectical exchange with his interlocutors, he would expose contradictions in their thinking and lead them to a more nuanced understanding of these concepts. Socrates' approach to knowledge was dynamic, not static. He believed that by continually challenging our beliefs and engaging in critical dialogue, we could move closer to the truth, even though we would never fully grasp it. This view contrasts sharply with the idea that knowledge is a fixed commodity to be acquired or possessed. For Socrates, knowledge was a continuous process of discovery, a journey rather than a destination. Socrates' views on knowledge and ignorance have had a profound influence on the development of Western philosophy. His emphasis on questioning, dialogue, and intellectual humility laid the foundation for many later philosophers, including Plato, Aristotle, and the Stoics. In modern times, Socratic principles can be seen in the scientific method, which is based on the idea of testing hypotheses, challenging assumptions, and refining knowledge through experimentation and inquiry. Socrates' rejection of certainty and his belief in the importance of doubt and critical thinking also influenced later philosophical movements, such as skepticism and existentialism. Philosophers like René Descartes, Friedrich Nietzsche, and even contemporary thinkers like Karl Popper have echoed Socratic themes of intellectual humility and the acknowledgement of the limits of human knowledge. In a world where information is constantly changing and expanding, Socrates' insistence on the importance of questioning and self-awareness remains as relevant as ever. In an age of rapid technological advancement and information overload, the ability to recognize the limits of our knowledge and approach the world with humility is more important than ever. Socrates' famous claim, "I know that I know nothing," is not a denial of knowledge, but an invitation to a deeper, more humble understanding of the nature of wisdom. By acknowledging our ignorance, we open ourselves to the possibility of growth and discovery. Socrates believed that the pursuit of knowledge was a never-ending journey, one that required intellectual humility, critical thinking, and a willingness to question everything, even our most deeply held beliefs. In embracing the paradox of knowledge and ignorance, Socrates offers us a path to true wisdom. By admitting that we don't have all the answers, we create the space for meaningful dialogue, self-reflection, and ongoing discovery. This journey toward wisdom is not a destination, but a process, one that requires us to continually challenge our assumptions, remain open to new ideas, and recognize the vastness of what we don't know. If you enjoyed exploring the wisdom of Socrates and his views on knowledge and ignorance, be sure to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey channel for more thought-provoking discussions on philosophy, history, and personal growth. Let's continue this journey of exploration and self-discovery together.